Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that starts with a simple, unanswered question and spirals into a reality-bending chase across time and space. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's begin. It all started with an antique compass, a family heirloom my grandfather left me. It wasn't just old, it was strange. The needle never pointed north. Instead, it spun wildly, then settled on a direction that changed every few hours. One rainy Tuesday, I decided to follow it, just for fun, you know? The compass led me through winding city streets, into an old, forgotten alleyway, and straight to a brick wall. A dead end. I was about to turn back, disappointed, when my hand brushed against a loose brick. The compass in my pocket hummed, vibrating with an energy I could feel in my bones. I pushed the brick. With a low groan, a section of the wall receded, revealing a dark, narrow passage. My heart pounded, but curiosity won. I stepped inside. The air was cool and smelled of dust and something else. Ozone, like after a thunderstorm. The passage wasn't long. It opened into a small, circular room lined with what looked like ancient server racks, humming and blinking with faint, rhythmic lights. In the center of the room, a pedestal held a single, shimmering crystal. It pulsed with a soft, blue light, and the compass, now in my hand, was pointing directly at it, its needle steady for the first time. As I reached out, my fingers inches from the crystal, the lights in the room flared. A voice, synthesized and cold, echoed from all around me, chronal anomaly detected. Subject unauthorized. Before I could react, the floor beneath me vanished. I was falling, not through darkness, but through a kaleidoscope of colors and images. I saw glimpses of towering pyramids under a Martian sky, steam-powered airships dueling over a Victorian London, and cities made of pure light. The fall ended as abruptly as it began. I landed, unhurt, on soft, mossy ground. I was in a forest, but the trees were colossal, their leaves a shade of iridescent purple I'd never seen. Strange, six-legged creatures skittered in the undergrowth. The air was thick with the scent of alien blossoms. I checked the compass, it was spinning again. Then, a twig snapped behind me. I spun around to see a figure emerging from the shadows. They were tall, clad in sleek, dark armor, their face hidden behind a reflective visor. They raised a weapon, and the synthesized voice from the room spoke again, this time from the figure's helmet. Surrender the artifact. You are interfering with temporal mechanics. I didn't wait to find out what that meant. I ran. Adrenaline surged through me as I dodged glowing flora and leapt over strange, pulsating roots. The armored figure was relentless, their footsteps a heavy, rhythmic thud behind me. Just as they were closing in, the compass in my hand grew intensely hot. The world blurred, and suddenly, I was somewhere else. The purple forest was gone, replaced by the deafening roar of a crowd and the smell of roasted meat. I was in the middle of a bustling medieval market. People in tunics and leather stared at my modern clothes. Before I could get my bearings, a guard with a halberd pointed it at my chest, shouting in a language I didn't understand. And in the distance, I saw it, another armored figure, visor gleaming in the sun, pushing through the crowd towards me. Another jump. This time, I found myself on the observation deck of a skyscraper that pierced the clouds. Flying vehicles zipped between buildings, and the city below was a sprawling network of neon and chrome. A holographic news ticker floated by, displaying a date to 100 years in my future. I felt a moment of awe before the familiar, cold voice crackled from a nearby public speaker. Fugitive detected. Sector 7 on lockdown. Armored figures, more of them this time, rappelled down the side of the building. The chase was on again. Through gleaming corridors, across sky bridges, and down gravity elevators, I fled. Each time I thought I was cornered, the compass would activate, pulling me through time. I jumped to the deck of a pirate ship in a raging storm, the salty spray hitting my face. I landed in a silent, desolate landscape under a binary sunset. I even spent a terrifying few minutes in what looked like a gladiatorial arena, with a roaring, non-human crowd, before the compass whisked me away. With each jump, I got better at anticipating it, using the temporal shift as an escape. The armored figures, whom I started calling the chrono guards, were always there, always a step behind. It was a relentless, galaxy-spanning game of cat and mouse. They never spoke. other than their cold, automated warnings. Who were they? What did they want with this compass? I learned to be resourceful. I traded a button from my jacket for food in one era, used my basic knowledge of mechanics to fix a steam-powered cart in another. I was becoming a ghost, a myth whispered across time. I was the strange man who appeared from nowhere. The time jumps were getting shorter, more erratic. The compass was starting to feel tired. It was weakening. In a brief moment of respite, hiding in the ruins of a city that hadn't been built yet, I studied the compass again. Carved into the back, almost worn away, was a set of coordinates, not for a place, but for a time. A specific date, a specific hour, a specific minute, and it was approaching, fast. My next jump was different, it was violent, and I landed hard on cold steel. I was in a vast, white, sterile chamber. It looked like the inside of a spaceship or a futuristic laboratory. And I wasn't alone. Dozens of people, all dressed in simple gray jumpsuits, were here. They looked as confused as I was. Then I saw them. At the far end of the chamber, standing before a massive, swirling portal of energy, were the chronoguards. But this time, their visors were up. They weren't faceless monsters, they were human. Just people, with tired, determined expressions. One of them, a woman with a scar above her eye, stepped forward. "It's over," she said, her real voice weary, not synthesized. "You've caused enough damage." She explained that the compass wasn't just a navigation tool. It was a key, a prototype that had been lost in time. It had been tearing small, unstable holes in the fabric of reality with every jump. They weren't hunting me, they were trying to contain the chaos I was unintentionally creating. The people in the room with me, they were others like me, anomalies scooped up from different timelines, pulled from their lives by the ripples I'd caused. My simple act of curiosity had endangered countless realities. The woman pointed to the swirling portal. "That is a temporal siphon. It's the only way to repair the damage. We have to reset the timeline, erase this entire sequence of events." Reset. That meant I would go back to that rainy Tuesday, to the moment before I pushed the brick. I would forget everything. The purple forests, the sky cities, the pirate ships, all of it. But it also meant all these other people would be returned to their lives, unharmed. I looked at the compass in my hand. Its glow was fading. I had one last jump. The coordinates etched on the back, they were for a time just minutes from now. What was there? A final destination? A way to fix this without a total reset, or was it a trap? The chronoguard leader held out her hand. "Give me the key. Let us fix this." The portal behind her pulsed, ready. The compass in my hand felt warm. The coordinates were calling to me. I had a choice to make. Reset everything, or take one final, unknown leap of faith. The world held its breath. And I looked down at the compass, its needle beginning to spin one last time. So, what do you think happened next? Did I hand over the compass, or did I make that final jump? Let me know your theories down in the comments. I read every single one, and I'm really curious to see what you all come up with. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.